I'm not a misanthrope, I'm not a nihilist, I'm not an atheist. I believe...
Misconception. Well, you know, it could be because it was your religion and maybe it wasn't supposed to be hers.
Okay.
So you gotta be open-minded. But let me say something. Let me say something now. I've particularly on this record, with the imagery that I use, I tried to look at the things that I was taught growing up about Christianity in a different way. You know, I looked at the image of Christ on the cross and the story of him as someone who was a revolutionary with dangerous ideas, and I started saying to myself, oh, I can relate to this story now. I'm not going to dismiss it, but I'm going to interpret it in a different way. So everybody should, you know, you have to be open-minded. I'm sure when you were young, you didn't want to listen to what your parents were trying to tell you to believe in. You know, she's going to find her own. Maybe someday she'll become a nun. You don't know.
Sure. Ask God, and before you ask God for something, when y'all pray, make sure you're asking for forgiveness. And to take away bad thoughts from your head. I told God to take away bad thoughts from my head, because it's just like, I told him, when I pray to God, I be asking him, like, take away every negative thought that I have. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I might have a thought. God, take that feeling away from my mind. Take that feeling away from my mind. Take that negative energy away from my mind. Take any type of jealousy, take any type of evil away from my mind. Always ask that to God. Because just because you're not doing something, when you think about something, to me, that's a sin as well. That's like to me, like cheating and thinking about cheating is the same. So it's like, you know, just because you're not sinning, if you're thinking about sin, to me, that's like sinning as well. So also ask.
They're right. I need to go back home to my mother. I need to go get a 9 to 5. I need to just be a regular person and forget this music thing.
What pulled you through?
I think just like faith in God. And I always speak to people like that can encourage me. Like even now, I'll speak to like my pastor and be like, can you just pray with me? Because I need some sort of guidance right now. And I think that's what's always got me through. Like, my mother kept me in church when I was younger, so I never really strayed far from that in terms of like my belief and my faith and my drive.
And in the in-depth interview, he shares his history with faith, spirituality, and Christianity, saying, "Oh man, I've gone through everything. Like, I cling to religion. I grew up with Christianity, always questioned it, but it worked at times. And then when I got on my own, I completely left it and called myself agnostic. Tried a few spiritual things, but didn't feel right. Then I called myself an atheist for a while, just kind of being rebellious. I wasn't really, but I kind of labeled myself that for a while." It's not the first time that Brad has spoken up about his Christian upbringing. In 2017, he told the magazine that his family eventually shifted from a more traditional Baptist style of faith to a Pentecostal and charismatic style. In the end, Brad says that he came back to spirituality and the belief that we're all connected.
What is God?
We're all God in different disguises, just like there is one electricity for all contraptions. We all have the spark of the same consciousness. Rumi, the great Sufi poet, he said, you're not just a drop in the ocean, you're also the mighty ocean in the drop. Who are you? At the deepest level, you're a stardust being. You were born in stars. So think of it this way. When the Big Bang happened 14.8 billion years ago, there were no laws of physics, there was nothing of the sort. There was nothing. And yet, whatever there was organized itself into particles, antiparticles, and the little discrepancy between the particles and antiparticles ended up making the universe, and ultimately galaxies and stars. And the fusion in these galaxies and stars resulted in the elements of the periodic table. So the iron that's in your hemoglobin molecule right now and the carbon in your nose or in your hair may have come from two different galaxies. You are the conspiracy of the total universe in space-time right this moment. Now, of course, a lot of scientists say, oh, it's random. But there's another point of view, and that is that they seem random, but randomness could be another word for creativity. And, you know, here we are having this conversation because of the confluence of events that seem so unlikely.
So,
I'd just like to say that I miss my brother so much, This is very hard for me right now. I just want to say that I love you, Paul, very much. You'll be sorely missed by the world over. God bless you, and thank you for all the great times that we had together. I love you so much.
So we're in LA. That's all I can say. And we're making God music. And
you know, get in a Bible-based church. You know, just call on God and ask God. Thank God for everything that He's ever done for you, and call upon Him to help you and guide your feet and your mind and everything in your soul in the right direction. I stressfully am trying to tell people to keep God first place, and He's there for you. He will always be there for you. He's been there for me, and I know He's real. And I don't want to start crying, but He saved my life, man, for real.